Imagine thinking you needed a walking stick. As you can see, people are continuing up. You continue to go up that way, you get to what they call Wall Street or the Narrows. What that is just a space where it gets really, really narrow. And it's about another hour and a half from here. And that's why everyone's buying the shoes. So you have basically shoes that you can, well, they're not waterproof. They just got a lot of holes in them so that they've got a sole and they're all mesh on the top so that, you know, you're not slogging water all the way. So I'm not really that interested in it. So I'm going to instead start on my way back and hit a couple other hikes. So spending an hour and a half up, an hour and a half back, that's 3 hours. What's going to eat up most of the day, plus the time it took me to get here, and the time it will take to get back. That comes out, if you can see it, because with the sun off the rock, it might be creating too much glare for cameras. One thing interesting, if you look, there's a slight tint to the river. I believe that's glacier melt. What it is a really fine sand. So this would be glacier fed. Really, really fine sand that's pulverized by glaciers that gives it that tint to it. So, somewhere way, way, way back there, there's a glacier.
There she comes.
Man, the squirrels are really people used to. It's kind of scary.
The rock
When you see big roofs for that means a shuttle came through. The squirrels are so friendly, they're just like, you can nearly step on them. That's how close they let you get up to them. Plenty places to stop. Touch the water at least. Look at this place. You can camp in the park. It's hard to get reservations because they fill up so quickly. I don't know, I want to say the temperature of the water is low 60s, upper 50s. So, take in your moment as zen. Nice little walk to perch on and just enjoy. I'm on my way back, but I still have at least two other trails I want to do in this park. At least two. See how far we get. You know. Just got to take it all in. The walk there is great. The walk back is great. So, and this is nothing. They, from people who I've talked to, they say going to the Narrows, it's not difficult. It's just rocky and it can be slippery with walking in the stream or river, whatever they call this. That's the only thing. And I think they told me it can actually be done. You can go up there in an hour if you're diligent enough of walking at a decent pace. Deer that are way too familiar with people. They've gotten fed by them before.
Nice.
Sorry.
You're not the attack deer that sign says, right? Yeah.
Final stop. The Riverside Walk begins right over there. Obviously, the shuttle's lit off there, and this is what you can see right here. The Riverside Walk, of course, just goes straight up the riverside, ends at the Narrows, which can take you as long as like Well, they say 2.5 hours. Just, well, no, 2 hours just to get up there, and obviously 2 hours to get back. And just look at this. I mean, although I can't imagine what they could possibly pipe through on the shuttles that you could listen to. I mean, there's not exactly any history here. I mean, you could give geologic history of the river, of you know, how many years it took, fossils that could be found here. I'm sure that. And here's where all the bikes are. So that's where we be. Going back home. It's Zion National Park. You go. There are plenty of people who just hike all the way up, all the way back. That's a day. Down, 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 down. Should have put the camera in my shifting arm. All right, we can just cruise. You have to wear a helmet. It's not a... It's a safety thing. There must be a slight uphill because it was harder going to the end than it is back. I mean, I guess you just don't feel it. I mean, it's got to be like 1 or 2 degrees with a couple that are like 5. Now I can see it, like going down. Spectacular. Why does the shuttle have bikes? I mean, do people shuttle their bikes up to the top and then ride back? I mean, come on. It's not that tough. I mean, if you don't know how far it is, you can be like, oh no, I'm never gonna make it. But if you got any kind of reasonable ability, you'll be fine. I think this is Big Bend. There might be a hike here. We'll see what I'm gonna do. A little explanation. Pontus pioneers and early visitors applied religious names to many of the features. The Great White Throne, Angel's Landing, and Temple of Sinana Sumwawa, that's the end over there, are just the well-known examples. Zion was used by the Mormons in the 1860s, implies peaceful or heavenly place. So here, so we got the organ, the Great White Tomb, Angel's Landing, and you can get access to the river. You can walk down there. I've already had river access, and this is Big Bend. Hard not to. It's spectacular.